brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
Duh.
Thank you. Week
welcome.
11 of the NFL season ends with maybe the biggest game of the year so far. The Eagles are at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45. You can hear that game on the Fan, but that is one of the biggest regular season games ever. I'm sure the four-letter network will be talking about it for 12 straight hours.
Oh, can't blame them.
I can't
Super
either.
Bowl
It'll
rematch.
be
Who
sweet.
do you like
though.
in that game?
The Chiefs. I took the
Oh,
Chiefs
really?
minus 2.5 with Rosie.
Because at home or
Yeah, I'll pay him with Tommy's money, but yeah.
God, the Eagles are a fuller team. I
who
mean, a
would you
more
take,
complete
Bart?
team, I think, than the Chiefs.
The Chiefs always seem to pull it out when they're matched up against like proper competition, though. So I would roll with the Chiefs too.
By the way, you just kind of snuck this in there, Sauce, that you would pay Rosie with Tommy's money. Earlier I mentioned the line, it's immoral for to let a sucker keep his money.
Right, yeah, you keep saying that.
I just,
Starting to hurt. Just a
I
little
got to
bit.
get in on this taking money from Tommy thing. Because you're like cashing checks. It's like 3 months mortgage.
I paid my Target bill with Tommy.
Your Target bill's that low?
Yeah.
How the hell do you do that?
I don't know. We don't
Jesus.
supermarket sweep the store.
Oh, my God.
That is really nice.
Thanks, Guardsy.
Are these mostly on Gopher bets? Is that
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're
and-
He
and-
just gives it away.
The 6 I took, I think it was, and Power Trip Bets is, I'm sure, listing. He probably could tell me when we made the bet. But I think I took, after we looked at the schedule one day on a Thursday when Tommy was here, and we talked, and he, of course, is like, I see 11-2. I go, I'll bet you they don't win 7 games. And we set the over-under at 6.5. I think it might have been April. And after they won that Iowa game, I was like, all right, I'm going to have to pay Tommy $500, fine. And then I didn't think they would lose to Illinois. I didn't think they would lose to Purdue. And I knew they would lose to Ohio State. I thought it would come down to this game on Saturday, but I didn't think it'd be over this.
I thought the Ohio State game was way closer than it was. Honestly, I was like, they're going to get 70'd.
That's because the second the game started, the Gophers laid down.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Kittle.
Rosie gross.
So what did you win total?
700. Because I won 6 from Tommy, 500 for that, and then back, I think, around the same time. Ben and I gave Tommy 24.5 points, and we took Ohio State.
Without knowing the line.
Without knowing the line.
The line at
we were
24 and a
3
half.
points off.
Yep.
And then I won 100 from Rosie because he also took that they would win over 6.5 games.
Sounds easy.
Good for you.
You're just stealing money.
Why didn't you get in on it? I'm shocked
They
you
didn't ask.
I think you tried with Tommy, and I think he said no. Because you would have taken them.
I think, am I the one that has the bet that Callie McManus will not be drafted?
You and I both do.
Yeah, that's free money.
I get it. And then, the other one we have that Power Trip Bets and I, the gif of Ray Liotta and Goodfellas laughing.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
We have that Tommy bet that he would be the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year.
And then how many years left does Tommy have for the Gophers to win the national title before he owes me $1,000?
And me another 5.
I think it's 500, yeah.
4.
And you guys say I drink too much. What is going on
No,
with Tommy?
Tommy.
No,
no.
we
You think monster of a wife is mad that you gave me $100 this morning? Wait until Seth sees that bill when the Gophers don't win the national title. That's gonna hurt.
and I think it's to like,
Is it 2027?
I think it's 2028.
2028. Okay.
I think,
Make it 2058. I'm not worried
Right.
about it.
yeah.
They can't win the Big Ten West. They're not
They
winning
can't
a national
beat Purdue.
title.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but he offers. We will take his money.
That was a long run bet, so I'm guessing it was worth a fair amount.
Well, I think it's Corey's 5,000.
5,000 for me to Tommy's 1,000.
Which again, terrible odds.
Make it 50,000.
Make it 100,000.
It's free money.
It's free money. Yeah, but
Good
I
for
give him
Tommy.
credit. He pays every time. He's a man of his word. He pays quick, pays immediately.
Are there people that don't?
I got paid.
Hey, Sauce, super dumb hypothetical, but I'm just thinking about how unlikely it is that all of these teams in Minnesota ever win a title. If you knew the Twins, the Wild, and the Wolves in the next, let's say 10 years,
Go on.
we're all going to win one title. So you weren't sure what year, though. So it wasn't like before this year starts, you knew miraculously the Wolves were winning the title. So it wasn't as fun. They were each going to win one in the next 10 years. But you also then get told the Vikings will never win one in your lifetime. Do you take that deal or not? You take the 3 titles, even though you know you'll never see a Viking Super Bowl.
Yes.
How dare you?
Yes.
What if it was the opposite? One Viking Super Bowl,
100%.
but the rest of the
I'd
teams
take it.
would never win.
Yeah. You know how cool it would be for the Wolves to win an NBA championship? That would be badass. Or the Wild, or they haven't won one in this town in 30 in the male sports. They haven't won one in this town in almost 32 years.
Yeah.
It would be badass. I would take the Gophers winning a national championship in hockey.
Well, that's happened.
Yeah. Yes, I would take that. Wouldn't you?
The
Viking
side would be, although I would love to see, Stanley Cup. Here in Minnesota, that would be badass.
Sweet.
That would be just the best state of hockey. Come on. But no, I'd have to go the route of the Vikings just because. Can you imagine what this state in this town would do if we actually won? It'd be insane.
Well,
it'd be like those greyhounds that chase the rabbit, and then once if they ever.
Here comes Wishbone.
And the thing is, if they ever catch it, the dog loses its mind because it's never supposed to catch it.
Freaking love dog races. I hate that they treat them like crap, but my God, greyhounds are badass.
We'd have to put down so many Minnesotans that would just lose their minds.
Yeah.
Look, I love Treasure Island Resort and Casino. TI is awesome. They've always been super nice. We love going down there. But God dang it, do I miss St. Croix Meadows. Hudson, Wisconsin, you go right across the border. You bet on some dogs. The second you lose, they load up another set, and 7 minutes later, they're racing again.
I've never seen a race. Only in the movies.
It was the freaking best.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Why?
Because it's dogs.
Yeah.
Again, but like I said, what if the second they're done, they get pampered like the lion when he gets to Oz, and they're getting pedicures and they're getting
that'd be great.
Their hair fluffed up.
They're treated like
treated like
hell,
kings.
Yeah.
And then it's, hey, King, whatever, would you please run for the next 60 seconds? And the dog's like, sure, I'll run my hardest.
Yeah.
And then you bet on him, and then right back to the fluffy, comfortable bed with all the food you can possibly imagine. You treat the dogs like kings, but then we get to bet on them. Can we make that happen? So Pete is happy, we're happy. And the dogs are happy.
If that was a thing, that would be great. And B, is dog racing a thing anywhere?
I think we asked that a couple months ago because
isn't it Tampa?
I thought Florida had it, but I think somebody said that's shut down now too, unless they were incorrect.
Because I swear at
the
Planet Hollywood Sportsbook, I've seen it like at Gulfstream or one of those. They have it not like for fun like Canterbury does, but like
actual dog racing.
Dog races. Yeah.
Maybe they're maybe out of the country. Maybe.
I don't know why it's totally illegal. If we do have horse racing and there's some rules and restrictions on how you can treat horses and things like that, why can't we just regulate how we have dogs treated and make sure it's on the up and up? Unless they're just convinced that it's so rampantly the other way, right? That it's so poorly run that it's just not feasible.
Take it to the Capitol.
No, don't. Unless they're treated. Yeah, no. Don't treat them poorly.
I don't want to treat them poorly, but I want to bet on them. Your hands up.
Speaking of gambling, I made the 6.5 bet with Tommy about a year ago.
Yeah, see?
Probably when we were just going through their opponents for 2023.
Yeah, you are
so there's
correct.
no way they're winning 7.
Maxo, the Timberwolves had a monster comeback on Saturday to beat the Pelicans 121-120. They trailed by 14 with 7 minutes left. Cat had the winning basket. He had 29.6 boards and 9 dimes. Ant fouled out, but they came back to win. They were like a 3% chance to win with those 7 minutes left. They are now 9-3. They are the number 1 team in the West. They battle New York tonight at 7 at the Target Center. They're 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, that was such a sweet win. I think everybody in Minnesota kind of had the same feeling towards the end of that game. Just big sigh, like, all right, we lost, chuck it up, no big deal. We'll just have to get back on the wagon against the Knicks. But the Cat and Ant really fought for them to get. I think Cat was 10 for 11 in that game. He's been incredible. ever since pretty much, I think there was a tweet from a big NBA account that was, speculating about a trade. And ever since then, Cat's been averaging about 25 plus. He's been incredible for this team. And the Knicks, they're pretty high right now. They've won 3 straight, but they're still the Knicks. They're wishy-washy. Timberwolves finally back home, got a little bit of a homestand here. So should be exciting. Should be a good game tonight. The Wolves and the Knicks have been back and forth. I think they've traded their last 6 games. It's been Wolves win, Knicks win, Wolves win, Knicks win, Wolves win, Knicks win. And with that win on Saturday against the Pelicans, I think the Wolves are pretty much almost guaranteed to be in the next round of the play-in tournament. I think they're pretty much solid in the quarterfinals there. So,
oh, hell yeah.
Wolves on the way to being the first play-in or mid-season tournament winners.
I'm talking like a day spa. The second this race is over, you just absolutely get full body shampoos. You're getting massages. These dogs are treated like they're a Kardashian.
As long as they're treated well, sure.
That's all I'm saying.
The Gophers laid down on Saturday against Ohio State. They lost 37-3. They ran clock in the first quarter like they had the lead. They didn't call timeouts, and they needed to at the end of the half, and they gained only 159 yards. They played to lose. They are 5-6. They will look to become bowl eligible this Saturday against the Badgers. Game time is 2:30. Pregame is at 12:30. The Gophers are, some places you look, are either 2-point underdogs or 1.5-point underdogs. They'll win. They'll win on Saturday.
Because Greyhound's speed is so impressive, what if we can't do the dog thing because people have moved on and people love dogs? What if we get the fastest land animal in the world? What if we just get about 8 cheetahs? Probably have to be the same 8 over and over again. I don't know if we can find hundreds of cheetahs that can run.
Hundreds?
We get the same 8, maybe the best 8, and just constantly bet on them.
Yeah.
What would they chase? What's the main thing that cheetahs chase?
Like an antelope or something?
Yeah, so, we
Yeah.
get like a little tiny antelope, like a baby antelope that's on that
on the
little
rail.
mechanical rail.
Yeah,
and we just
man.
let them chase antelope until the cows come home. We probably have to treat them well, though, too, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, people are going to get mad that we're abusing cheetahs.
Right.
Damn it. Moss, I wish you would have won this bet so you would be in my camp here, itching to gamble.
No, Muss has done gambling for a while.
Yeah, probably.
More of the Power 2 Morning
not
Show
golf
after this.
anytime soon, right?
We'll do headlines. We'll talk about the purple. We're on until 9, and then 9 to noon, PA and Nordo take over after this. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Who listen to the words that I speak as I take me a drink to the middle.
Which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Here's Main Man Andy from Continental Diamond. I think people may not know they need a jeweler until they need a jeweler.
You're absolutely right. For example, one day you may wake up and say, I'm ready to propose. Or, I need that special family heirloom serviced. And then you think, how do I make that happen?
Exactly. That's why for decades I've been telling people, you're the jeweler I trust. So when it's time, they have someone they can trust. Visit them in St. Louis Park or online, continentaldiamond.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Get ready to deck the halls this holiday season with sparkly presents from Helzberg Diamond's Black Friday sale. Up to 65% off on dazzling lab-grown diamond tennis bracelets, studs, pendants, and bands. And this is the gift that keeps on giving because you get free Bose headphones with a purchase of $699.99 or more. Don't miss out. Head to a Helzberg store near you or Helzberg.com. The offer is valid November 21st through the 29th. While supplies last, see online or in-store for details.
'Tis the season for chicken fingers at Raising Cane's. Warm up with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, garlicky buttered Texas toast, and the real source of holiday magic, cane sauce. And while you're treating yourself, don't forget to treat everyone on your list to Cane's gift cards and New York City-inspired plush puppies that benefit pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
I got to ask, are you looking to switch your phone service? Well, what if there was a carrier that wasn't just another phone company, one that's brand new, built with technology for the next 50 years, not the last 50? Well, now there is. It's Boost Infinite Wireless, the only carrier that switches between its own network and the other top 2 networks to find the best quality calls and data for you anywhere, anytime. So why limit yourself to one network when you can get 3 and you get a low price unlimited wireless plan that gives you a new iPhone every single year? It's the power of new technology that gives you better service at lower prices. Boost Infinite Wireless. Boost Infinite Wireless. Call 855-55-BOOST. It's 1-855-55-BOOST. BOOST. BoostInfinite.com. That's BoostInfinite.com, or go to Amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15 today. See BoostInfinite.com for terms and conditions.
Every great football team has a weekly game plan. Hey, it's Ben Lieber here for my friends at Evans Transportation. Do you have a solid game plan when moving freight for your business? Well, my guys at Evans Transportation will look at your current supply chain situation, evaluate it, optimize it, and even build a unique custom software solution. Now that is winning right there. When the final whistle blows, Evans will have helped you move the ball down the field with a strong supply chain game plan. So ask yourself, you want to keep your business moving forward? Find them at evanstrans.com. That's evanstrans.com.
This is Angela Warner for Warner Stellian. And I don't know about you, but I am not the most patient person. Waiting for something once I've decided on it is really hard. So why wait for Black Friday to score up to 50% off appliances? Warner Stellian is guaranteeing Black Friday prices now, so you can finally replace that almost broken dishwasher with free installation on top brands. You can upgrade to that bigger fridge and faster stove and take 2 years to pay with your Warner Stellian card. Shop now at WarnerStellian.com.
Purple Mondays are brought to you in part by Ovo LASIK and Lens. From the 651 Carpets Plus, home of the Next Day Install Studios, this is the Power Trip on FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Celebrate 22 years of the Power Trip Morning Show at Mall of America this Friday. Join the guys in the Rotunda as they broadcast live from 7 to 9 a.m. Stop by and register for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see the Purple in Vegas, thanks to Mall of America. More info at KFN.com, keyword calendar.
The Power Trip Morning Show turns 22 on Friday.
Sweet. I remember the 20th. That was a blast.
That was fun.
Yeah.
At O'Shaughnessy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Max sure had a good time.
Yeah. That place
kicks
kicks
I had
ass.
to come back to work after.
Oh, yeah.
I'll pull myself together,
Man, I
brother.
love that place. Keeper's Heart, man. That stuff is legit.
Yeah.
So
great.
good. But 22 years old, we turn on Friday. So, as again, Rosie will still date us for another 2 or 3 years.
You're almost getting out of his demographic.
And then he'll find a slightly younger radio show to start dating. Point is MOA 7 to 9 on Black Friday. And one of you, thanks to our friends at the Mall of America, will win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very cool.
That is super cool. We're
So
going to
that
be
was,
there.
yeah, you guys started on a Black Friday, correct?
That is correct. 2001. Morris and hockey started it off in 01. I joined like in March-ish of 02. I missed the first 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
But they started Black Friday of 01.
That's so sweet.
That's why when for years and years and years, when everybody else in the building takes that day off, we've always worked it because it's our anniversary. Otherwise, a lot of Black Fridays would have been taken off in the past. For example, I assume most shows are not on Friday.
No.
We are.
No.
Yeah.
We cut it a little bit short. We go 7 to 9.
Yeah.
But come by Mall of America, because if you're there, you might have a chance to win a trip for 2 to Vegas.
Yeah, when you first mentioned that 7 to 9, I'm like, what are you guys starting here and then driving over? What's going on with that?
No, we just don't want to get up that early on Black
Right.
Friday.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
always fun, man. It's always been great.
And what I like, Musk, because we don't get to do this super often, but Marnie, Parrish, Hawk, and Sauce, we're going to draw names out of the crowd, and then 4 people will have them playing for them. So if Sauce wins, his Rube gets to go to Vegas. So I like it for 2 reasons. Then 4 people get a chance at the trip, but then these 4 have to sweat because they feel the extra pressure of performing, not in front of a crowd, but specifically if they fail, they
have to go face to face
to that person.
With that person, yeah.
That person would have got to go to Vegas, but it's Marnie's fault, Mark's fault, Chris's fault, Sauce's fault. It's the best. I love not having to deal with that.
Yeah. It's like was it the Harley? And the initials were BB.
That is correct. I was at U.S. Bank Stadium,
and everybody guessed, Bruce Boudreau, Burt Blyleven, and the clues I think were along the lines of is a professional football team in New York, and I didn't get
You couldn't think of it.
I couldn't think of it. I was like, I had no idea.
You thought Jets and Giants, and your brain shut down.
I always forget that Buffalo
is in New York.
Yeah,
It was Buffalo
Bills. Yep, we've all had moments like that. That's what makes the game fun.
Yep.
Now it's time for headlines.
All right, the Vikings did lose to the Broncos last night, 21-20, ending their 5-game win streak. We'll get back to that in a second and go around the room and throw out some thoughts, what we thought about last night's game, what we think it means moving forward. But let's do some headlines quickly. Tonight, Michael J. Mussman III.
Yes.
For the first time since he stepped away, David Letterman is on his old show. He's on Stephen Colbert tonight.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, his show that Letterman does, his interview show that he does.
Yeah, my next guest needs no introduction.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I mean, he's always been such a great interviewer, but man, it's so sweet.
Who's he had on that? Howard?
Almost everybody.
Almost everybody by now, yeah. But it's at free form, so he can just do the show as long as he wants. The interview is awesome.
A woman in Florida was arrested because she had arrest warrants and she called the cops to report that her drugs had been stolen.
Come on.
I feel like every 5 or 6 months we have a story like this, maybe even less than that, maybe every 2 or 3 months. Somebody calls the police saying somebody stole my drugs.
It's all the time.
Yeah.
You always hear this.
But you're just so fed up with your drugs getting stolen
that you call the police.
Finally, there needs to be some justice in this city.
We have the button, but I'm sure they put the phone on hold and yell, "We got one," because it's just ridiculous. Idiots.
A woman in Ohio is facing a child endangerment charge after her 2-year-old grabbed a gun from her purse and then accidentally fired it in a Walmart store last week. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Where was this again?
Ohio.
Ohio, not Florida? Surprise.
A 2-year-old grabbed a gun out of a purse, shot it at a Walmart, didn't hit anybody. Or himself,
If
luckily.
only there had been a good 2-year-old with a gun there to stop him.
You're getting emails. Max is getting emails. 2 guys in Pennsylvania were arrested after breaking into an amusement park and then riding go-karts.
It's like Wally World.
That's fun.
Yeah. God, what a great scene.
That's not a real gun.
That's not a real gun.
It's a
That
baby
wouldn't
gun.
even break skin. God.
Shoots him right in the ass.
Yeah. Ow. God, that's a... Moose
have to
says you're
shoot me.
closed. I say you're open. And that's a young John Candy.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Moose out front should have told you.
Yeah.
Sugar prices are rising worldwide after bad weather from El Nino damaged crops in Asia.
What?
Supply chain, man.
Yeah.
So less sugar, so it's still in demand. Sugar prices going up, which is too bad because that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Sugar?
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Gambling's my favorite thing. My family's my second favorite thing. Sugar's probably third.
A close
No,
second.
hang on.
though. Yeah.
Gambling 1, Raising Cane's 2, Family 3, Sugar 4.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Strike that. Hang on. Gambling 1, Cane's 2, Annie Ann's Pretzels at a Vegas airport 3, Family 4, Sugar 5.
How's your Pretzel account?
I get random rubes that tweet me or email me pictures of their receipts so I can download the Pretzel points, and I do it every time. I don't care.
You're never going to have to pay for a pretzel again.
Right. Zach can go on the air and beg for people to shoot him a Venmo, right? And just say, just give me money, which is fine. I'm basically doing the same. I'll never pay for a pretzel again.
Yeah.
I get so many points.
Yeah.
And even when they expire, I got some rube saying, hey, I was in Vegas. Here's my receipt. You can have my pretzel points. Oh, I'll take them all day long.
Were you fishing them out of the garbage?
Don't worry about what I do.
No, you did not dumpster dive.
Yeah, he was.
No, I didn't.
For a receipt.
No, I didn't, but I threatened to. Okay. We were all sitting at the Vegas airport because we had a 6-hour delay or whatever it was, 4-hour delay. And I asked the group, is it rock bottom if I start grabbing receipts and scanning for pretzel points? And they all said, yes, that's rock bottom. I go, fine, then I won't.
Just even the
But I thought about it. Oh, I thought about it.
The thought about it is really close to rock bottom.
Are you willing to put your hand in garbage for free pretzels? Because I am. I would have.
Right.
That's how close I was. Very close to doing it. I was bored.
You should
Sitting around
seek help.
talking to these idiots for 4 hours, it was mind-numbing. I wanted pretzel points.
We're not that bad.
No, you were at the other gate trying to get out on a Delta flight that left like 40 minutes before us. And spent $200.
I spent miles on it. I have no patience.
Still.
So I'm not waiting.
Yeah, you can't wait for anything.
No, I'm not waiting.
No lines.
No, I don't
patience.
wait. I hate waiting.
Speaking of a lot of money, the winner of a massive $1.35 billion lottery prize, I assume this is the California person?
I think
this must be the one in California, is suing the mother of his child because she told his family about the win. He wanted to keep it under wraps. He wanted to be anonymous. The mother of his child told everybody, and now he is suing.
Suing her.
Yes.
Well, suing her brings more
attention to it.
But if the cat's out of the bag, I think his point is this needed to be between about 3 of us, and now 30 of us know. And if 30 of us know, then everybody's going to know.
But how do you keep that under wraps? How do you really honestly think that you can 3 people are going to know?
I think you can do it, man. I'm telling you, John Bonus has changed my mind on this. I've talked/argued with this with Angie. I'm like, if we won the Powerball when it was $1 billion or so a couple of months ago,
right?
We would not tell our 18-year-old or our 9-year-old. We had already talked it out. Here's how we're going to do this without our girls ever knowing. I think that's the way to do it.
You don't think?
I don't even think you tell the kids.
You could. Okay, all right. I guess you're dumpster diving for receipts for.
Well, not after I win the Powerball.
But suddenly, if you start,
I would
that's
be
going to be the
Uncle
dead
Corey's pretzels.
That's going to be the dead giveaway right there. It's like, whoa, wait, he's not dumpster diving anymore. He must have won.
No, here's what you do. If you start living way above the means that you were used to seeing out of somebody, right? Like, wow, all of a sudden so-and-so is kind of high flying here. What's going on here? He's like sitting Lexus courtside seats, and I thought they were sold out all year. And now he's sitting courtside. But if somebody all of a sudden has a really strange lifestyle and they're flying all over the place and they have a vacation house in Colorado and you're like, wow, I think you just say, man, I've just had a couple of really lucky investments just go through the roof.
Yeah, you couldn't say your poker's playing out.
The hell is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, nobody would believe that. Yeah, or you tell them I had somebody email me say that they were needed my credit card information, and it paid off.
It actually was a prince in Nigeria.
I actually had a Nigerian prince in my bloodline, and he gave me a whole bunch. No, because then they would know you have hundreds of millions of dollars. All you have to say is a couple of investments really, really went your way that were long shots. You keep it vague. People are like, wow, you must have really hit it big in the market, and you move on with your life.
Or you just say, if somebody asks, how are you affording all these things? I love credit card debt.
There's no way.
No,
you have terrible plans.
You get a couple cocktails in you, and next thing you know, you're like, all right, just don't tell anybody else.
But I think you guys just nailed it.
We'll let the fourth person know.
If you guys are ever at the Vegas airport with me and I go to Annie Ann's and you see me crumple up the receipt and just throw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Something's up.
You know I hit the lottery.
Something's up. Yeah.
Did he not scan that receipt? He doesn't want free pretzels? That son of a bitch won the lottery.
I think if we won, I don't think she'd tell me.
That's the smartest thing she could ever do.
Yeah. Although
let's buy a bunch of Jordans.
I kept I kept Creasel's secret.
Yeah, that's keeping that secret, which is not your secret to tell.
What am I, Ryan Donaldson?
Very, right. Very different than you having $1 billion.
100%
the whole
get that.
town would know in a day and a half if you had $1 billion. You wouldn't hide it for a second.
No, I'd tell
not
everybody.
1 second.
No, no.
Oh, you'd have a parade.
Yeah, I would have a parade right in front of your house. It would just circle your neighborhood. And I'd moon you every time you walked out in your yard. And then
I'd call the cops and have you arrested for indecent exposure.
Yeah, I'd throw 10 grand at him and go, you didn't see anything.
Good, I could buy a lot of pretzels.
Yeah.
The laws don't apply to him anymore.
No, I'm not paying you. I'd pay the police. Plus, you know who'd show up to your house? The Wyzetta police. They ain't arrested me. I know a guy. They would go, carry on, sir. And then I'd just double bird you and drive around.
There's so many young kids in my neighborhood.
Okay, well, now you're making it weird.
You're
It was
going
a
to
joke.
expose your ass?
No. Just
every
to
time you
you
circle my house?
No. You know what I would do? I would pay everybody in your neighborhood to go out of town, and it would just be you. And I'd put boots on your car so you couldn't drive away. And then you would have to come out and be like, oh, man, my car. Oh, there's beat sauce and slabs. And you go back in, and then I'd drive around again, and you'd fall for it every time.
This is a good plan. I like it.
Yeah.
You're putting this
Take that.
Yeah.
Are you knocking on my door? How do I know that you're doing laps?
There's a bullhorn yelling free pretzel points.
Oh, God, that is like the Pied Piper.
Yeah, you would come out for that.
Son of a bitch.
By the way, Ron Johnson, if you're listening, your headphones are sitting in the studio. I just wanted to know.
Left his headphones?
Yeah, they're right there.
Last night for fan line?
Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to say? Forgot I got sidetracked about
The bullhorn.
the bullhorn. It doesn't matter.
Was it important?
Probably not. If it's from me, no, it wasn't important.
All right, we can end on this.
Oh, I do. I have one after you go.
Oh, you go.
You know Corey Wong, the guy that song used to open the show, and he did the
Crazy
hockey
game
bit.
of hockey.
Guess who he played with this weekend at Madison Square Garden?
I'm going to guess Dave.
You are correct.
What?
Open form or played
No, he
with them?
played with them.
How cool is that?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. North Face Dave texted me yesterday morning. Was like, hey, did you see Corey Wong played with Dave at Madison Square Garden? It's sweet, dude.
That's
That's
awesome
badass.
picture.
Yeah, it's a sweet picture. Yeah. Yeah. What a cool bit. Yeah, man. Does your band do that? Where they have like other people from other bands hang out with them?
I wasn't really listening. I was thinking about pretzels.
Yeah, it's okay. And you would fall for my mooning plan.
Today would have been the birthday of Richard Dawson. He died in 2012. He kissed everybody on Family Feud. He was a staple on Match Game back in the day with Gene Rayburn.
He was the
Hogan's
best.
Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes. He was
Never saw
fantastic.
that. I know him from Family Feud and from Match Game, but best game show host of all time.
Oh, good question.
Ooh. Yeah, you know what? Just because I grew up with it, and I don't know anybody that stayed home sick from school that didn't watch The Price is Right.
You
So
go
I got to go
Barker.
Bob Barker.
It's
for sure.
Barker or
I was gonna say
Sajak.
that.
I think the Mount Rushmore is Barker, Sajak, Trebek, probably
Chuck
Dawson.
Woolery?
Well, wait. It's
Screw Chuck Woolery.
Hold on.
Chuck almost never understood the rules of his games. Watching him on Lingo drove me nuts. He didn't quite understand it. Got to know your own game. Who would be the fourth one? Barker, Sajak,
It's
Trebek.
Anthony Anderson for We Are Family.
No.
Regis?
Yeah, yeah.
No. I mean,
And
Regis
that was
good, but
iconic,
yeah,
though.
but it was very short-lived. His run on Millionaire was much shorter than you think.
Bob Eubanks.
No.
I'm just looking up random.
I think I go Dawson is 4.
Monty Hall?
Who's that guy?
From Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah.
How long did he do? Hold on.
Millionaire? I think he only did it 3 or 4 years.
Remember when
Then
it was on
syndication with
Yeah.
Meredith Vieira.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. He did Pyramid.
That was a long-lasting game there.
Yeah. I don't know. I might go Richard Dawson 4, but who knows?
Yeah,
Who cares?
he did it for 3 years.
3. See, that's what I thought.
Wow.
It was a short-lived bit.
99 to 02.
And in fact, that's what people complained about. They thought that it got burnt out because once they knew they had a hit, they were running Who Wants to Be a Millionaire about 4 or 5 times a week.
Oh, it was on constantly.
Almost every night.
Yeah.
And if you watch the reruns now, they'll be like, hey, it's Thursday night. Don't forget, we're back Sunday. And then it's like, okay.
Right.
We get it. It's like every other day here.
Yeah.
They burnt it to a crisp.
And
But it was fantastic.
Yeah. And he's a Notre Dame alum.
R.I.P. to Regis.
Yeah, man. He died in 2020.
All right, let's go back to the old purple, shall we?
Yeah, man.
21-20, they lose to the Denver Broncos. Dobbs, 20 of 32 for 221, a touchdown, an interception, and a rushing touchdown. Again, we mentioned it earlier. He's now the first player in NFL history with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in his team's first 3 games.
Yeah! Whoa, Gary.
Not easy to do, right? You make a debut on a team, whether it's starting the year or midway through a year, first 3 games with a team, and you go 1-1, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground. Pretty cool.
Yeah, he just had some moments where the center quarterback exchange was a little fumbly, pun intended.
2 of them, right?
Yeah, a couple of them.
He was credited with 3 fumbles, 1 lost, 2 recovered.
And, we've talked about it with Lieber about an hour ago about the helmet to chest hit that was on him. That might have been a penalty, but there were moments where they punted on 4th and 1 in plus territory where they should have probably gone for it, especially the way they were running the ball. Where the fumble happened, the weird, like way too cute tush push TJ Hawkinson pitch play. That was an odd play call. So there were moments where if they did this game again and they only had 1 turnover, they win by 14.
Well, yeah, you turn the ball over 3 times.
But you can't.
You don't win a lot of games.
Right, especially on the road. But it's the old cliche, but I bet if these teams played 10 times, I bet the Vikings would win 7 of them. They were a better team last night. When they had the opportunity in the 4th quarter when they should have gone for the jugular, and they didn't. They ran a couple times and then did a weird play on 3rd down and kicked the field goal. A touchdown there ends the game. And Power Trip Bet said it last night. I 100% agree with him. There are moments of KOC's coaching where you're like, brilliant.
Yeah.
This guy's new. He gets it. He's the new age coach.
First half last week.
This guy, Brandon Staley, goes for it all the time on 4th down. They go for it. You see these coaches, the Lions head coach, he goes for it on like 4th and 2 in their own territory. And then he gets into like these situations where you're like, why are you punting? Why are you running? Like there's like a weird time where he doesn't do the right thing. And there were moments of that last night where they needed a kill shot and they just couldn't get it. Is that they don't trust the quarterback? Maybe. Is that they don't have Justin Jefferson to kind of roam down there deep? Was TJ Hawkinson on a pitch count? All that said, they almost won.
Well, almost every touchdown that he's had, as you're mentioning with those games, 3 games in a row, it's pretty close that they're on scrambles. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
We're all on. So they're on broken plays. They're on offbeat plays. So I don't know. I mean, on the ones that he's supposed to do, it's not as successful.
Yep. And again, even his passing touchdown, which was highlight reel worthy, it was spectacular, right? He's running out of bounds. It looks like he's going to get tackled or sacked for what? I don't know. Or maybe not sacked, but it was close. Maybe a short gain.
Yeah.
And he somehow stays on his feet. The defender goes flying out of bounds. Yeah. And then he's just, instead of just giving up or trying to dive, he keeps his head up, and Josh Oliver's wide open.
That's a great play.
It was an awesome play.
Yeah.
God dang it, this kid can be electric. I wonder if you could hook up all the former coaches he's had in his career. And what is it, 7 years now? Is this his 7th year?
Yes.
6th year, 7th
9
year?
teams, yeah.
If you could hook up all those coaches to a lie detector and say, is he good enough to do this at a professional level, at a starting level, or is this just who he is? Is he this consistent, is he this inconsistent always? Because, man, there's times he looks like starting caliber worthy quarterback, and then the other times he's like, man, this is why he's a backup for his entire career. He's electric. I think you said it earlier, Mus. The whole point is this has been a super fun 3 weeks. When Cousins got hurt, my instinct was, let's lose to the Packers. Let's find a way to lose this game. Let's lose the rest of the game.
Lose every game.
Dobbs has been super entertaining. Whether it's sustainable or not beyond this year, who cares? It's going to keep us engaged the rest of the season because, again, they're a game and a half up on all these garbage teams that are chasing them, despite the loss last night. So for the rest of the year, we're still a team that's going to, quote, matter. We probably are going to have a playoff game. If he wins a playoff game, the place is going to go ballistic because it's freaking Dobbs and not Cousins, right? Wow, Dobbs is dynamic enough to get it done. If he wins a playoff game, it's going to completely change the offseason plan, or at least the argument, right? Maybe not the plan, but the argument's going to be, should we bring him back? I think it's going to be fun. I wouldn't throw a bunch of money at Josh Dobbs. I'm too nervous that we already know what we have. It's 7 years of inconsistency, sometimes brilliant, sometimes brutal. And that's what's been super entertaining the last 3 weeks. But, man, we got at least 6 more games with him, if not more. Let's just ride it out. Let's just see if it's fun the rest of the way. Paul, your hands up.
And they should be favorites in the next 3 games.
Go through
They
them.
are favorites against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They should be a maybe 1.5 point favorite against the Raiders. The Raiders aren't very good.
Might be more than that. They're terrible. That O'Connell kid can't throw.
No, he's brutal.
Kevin O'Connell would be better than Aiden O'Connell.
And the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals without Burrow.
Right. They will be favorites. They should be favorites in the next 3 out of 4 games. They should be 3 out of 5, whatever it is. The next 3, they won't be favorites against the Lions. And then they get the Packers here. They will be favorites. The Packers are a brutal football team.
This is why this is fun, though, too, because if you are a level-headed, Vikings fan, probably going into this season, you're thinking, obviously they're not going to win 13 games again. But, 10, we could win 10.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you were making that prediction when you had Cousins and JJ. But then with both of them gone, we still are very viable to hit
in this
that 10-win season.
And
That'd be huge.
I think if you win 3 out of your last 6, that's enough to get in. If you look at the teams chasing us, right? The teams that have a 4-6 record, they have 7 games left.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going 5-2. None of those teams are good enough to go 5-2.
No.
So I think if you go 3-3 the rest of the way, you're in.
Man,
you get to 9 wins, you're in.
Yeah, I think you are.
This team has just been such a team of halves.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, okay,
they
a
should have
couple
beat
weeks
the
ago.
Chiefs.
Right, exactly. But then, the one half, they'll light it up. Defense is playing great. And then the next half, you're like, what happened here? What's going on?
I mean, that first half of that Packer game in Lambeau was badass up until Kirk got hurt.
Right.
Everybody was open. He was throwing lasers up and down the field. They were moving the ball everywhere they could. And then he gets hurt. And then they rattle off they win that game. Then they win against the Falcons and they beat the Saints. And then even yesterday, the Broncos aren't that good of a team.
No.
The teams they play just turn the ball over in critical situations. Madison hangs onto the ball. We're talking about 6 straight wins and how we're going to win 7 because the Bears are brutally bad. But they lost. They didn't go for the kill shot yesterday. And I don't mean to keep harping on this, but that was the football theme of the weekend. You just got to go for it once in a while.
Well, and you saw that on Twitter. How many times during that little stretch last night on Twitter did KOC get compared to PJ?
He trended again last
PJ
night.
Fleck impression.
You
Punting. Run, punt.
Early in the game, and I think it was 4th and 1, and they punted. You're like, what are you doing? The tush push is an automatic first down, especially with that 6'3" quarterback. And they don't do
Dobbs
it.
is strong on that.
That's a huge bitch. Right. This is a team that you got to score points. You knew that if you could get to probably 3 touchdowns and a field goal, you would have won the game.
Right. Well, you just needed really another field goal. Really would have put it out.
Yes.
But then you get the fumble. You're marching down the field, and
I think you said it earlier, Sauce, though, but that's the difference, right? If you told me that Kirk Cousins needs 35 yards to get us into field goal range, I'm like, there's like a 75% chance he's going to get us in that spot.
Right.
That last series, Dobbs looked so overwhelmed. That was his worst series of the game.
That's his worst series as a Viking.
They cranked up some serious pressure. The Broncos did.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
They and I think even Collinsworth and Tirico on TV were like, man, you got to keep bringing pressure if he's going to play like that because he did look overwhelmed.
And
he got very lucky. That was so close to a fumble too. The one that was called for intentional grounding almost didn't have a forward motion. That was very close.
Yeah, and you see even Russell Wilson to a point, but you see Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, all these quarterbacks, Burrow when he's healthy, Josh Allen when he's not being weird and throwing the ball all over. You give them an extra second against a blitz, they'll kill you.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't, but you also saw in the game last night, and Ben said it earlier, instead of running like 9 routes down the field, they're running like out routes for like 8 yards because I don't think they fully trust him just uncorking it down the field. I mean, when they needed 35 yards, they're running 6-yard outs with TJ, and TJ's just kind of banged up and probably tired at that point. That's what they're doing to get 35 yards. And then Addison not holding the ball out and getting that first down they wasted a timeout because of that.
Yeah.
It was
you
weird.
You got to have field awareness on that one for sure.
That's a rookie mistake. The kids played well all year, so.
Yeah.
But that was weird.
His presence has not been felt that much in the last 3 games. In the Dobbs era, Addison's an afterthought. And he was breaking out with Cousins, right? You could feel it.
Right.
Those couple of games without Justin Jefferson, monster games. It looked like he was going to be a huge factor. On pace maybe for Rookie of the Year outside of C.J. Stroud, right? He was killing it.
Now it's TJ and Powell.
Exactly.
Right. Powell, man. What a great player.
And Addison's getting 2 or 3 catches for 30 or 40 yards. So he's getting some
look
action,
where he's
but doesn't
hitting.
feel like a breakout guy.
He's hitting in between the numbers.
Right.
The middle of the field. And that's why when they have the outs, I mean, that's not really his his game.
Yeah,
for Dobbs. I don't know. I don't think he has a strong enough arm.
And our guy Metellus, who we had on the show a week ago today, he should have caught that one in the end zone.
He did not
That
have a
ends
great
it.
game.
Blackman made the weird play on the Sutton touchdown. They almost got home a couple of times that they just couldn't. It was,
they picked on
weird.
They picked on
Well,
Blackman big time. First half, what did they have? Judy had a 19, and then Sutton had a 33-yarder on him. And then, of course, the very end of that game, Sutton in the end zone.
Right. You look at the Vikings so far, and if you'd said after Kirk Cousins got hurt that they would win the next two, you'd go, no way. Not only that,
well, actually, must bet they would win the next three.
The next three. But like the other thing too that you can say about this coaching staff, the difference that Beeflo has made on the defense, all the players and talent this team has, with a journeyman quarterback, they are in every game.
Should have won all three.
Right, correct. Yeah. You go back to the Packers game and you go, we're going to have to start Jaron Hall, who they had no idea Dobbs would be on the radar. You go, they're going to lose out or they're going to get blown out. And they haven't. Yeah. They've won two out, basically, they've won 2 of 3 with a backup quarterback. That's some positivity.
Back-to-back weeks where they just got too conservative.
Correct.
And they let teams stick around and let teams, get back into it, climb into it. Luckily, they won the week before. But then, last night, there's just absolutely no reason. It has nothing to do about giving you $100. There's just no reason that we should have lost that game.
No.
All right, one more random hypothetical. How bad does Dobbs have to play the rest of the way for you to want to give Jaron Hall another chance? Because
would they go to Mullins first?
See, I hope not. I hope not, because Hall had that one. He only played 2 drives right before he got the concussion. The first one I think was a 3-and-out or very close to a 3-and-out.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second one was legit.
Yeah.
Right, got all the way down the field.
If he that sweet throw to Madison.
Right, but if he doesn't just slightly overfloat that ball to Hawkinson in the end zone, Hawkinson catches it for a touchdown and Hall doesn't get the concussion and the rest isn't history, right? I don't know. I would rather, instead of going to Nick Mullins or clearly somebody like Sean Mannion, if Dobbs ever gets hurt or plays so poorly that we have to do something else, I want to give Jaron Hall that shot that got ripped out of his hands because of the concussion. I'd like to see Hall again before Mullins. No offense to Nick Mullins.
He'd have to be so bad, though, to have that happen.
That's what I'm asking. How bad does it have to be?
I don't know. I think
he got concussed, man. Give him a chance at some point.
I mean, he got a safety and 2 fumbles in the very first game.
I think Jaron Hall is.
They had to keep him in.
I think if they're out of it, I think Jaron Hall plays the last game of the year. I think it's that kind of situation. I think that's the only way we see him.
I don't think they're going to be out of it, though. That's the problem. Right, unless it's the opposite. What if that Packer game means nothing because they're locked into the 7th spot?
The Lions game's the last game of the year.
Yeah. Sorry, Packer game, then Lions
game.
If
that was the test. You passed.
You passed. If the Lions game, though, is already done, right, you're locked up, and maybe they're even locked up as your opponent.
Right.
And there's nothing to play for, and you don't want Dobbs to get hurt, then maybe you play Jaron Hall in the last one, but I don't know.
Well, you
look good on that one drive. It's just you want to talk about a small sample size.
Yeah.
One drive.
Right.
Like, wow, look, this kid can kind of throw it a little bit.
You mentioned it earlier,
good.
but the Washington Commanders are in the 12th spot at 4-7. They're bad.
They're
Their
dead.
coach
They're
might
terrible.
be fired today. Tampa's not good.
Terrible.
Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback.
Team. Yep, Atlanta's done.
The Rams are brutally bad.
Yep. Yeah.
And the Packers, I mean,
none of the teams that are chasing us are capable of catching us.
No.
They just can't.
No.
So again, I think you could go 2-4 and maybe still have enough at 8 wins.
Yeah, 8
you go
9
3-3,
might
you're
get you.
definitely getting in. I think 8 and 9 gets you in though too.
Yeah, I don't see how the Saints win 4 more games.
And the Vikings are definitely winning 2+ games the rest of the way.
Yeah,
right. They're not going 1-5 or 0-6. They're
then
at
again,
least going 2-4, and that's
we thought the same thing
enough.
about the Broncos game too.
I mean, they'll win next week. The Bears are bad. The Bears were leading the whole game and then just threw up on themselves at the end of that game.
Even with Goff playing horrible.
Goff was brutal.
He was
3 picks.
Goff was off.
That way sucks.
Thanks. That's a comment bit.
Bonus, not back tomorrow, but Carly's joining.
Oh, hell yeah.
Marnie's joining, and the great Mark Rosen tomorrow as well.
Sounds like a good show.
We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thanks for the $100.
I'd like to say you're welcome, but
it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money. 9 to noon is next. We're back tomorrow, 5:30 to 9 on the Fan.